First, a big thanks from Glen and I. We are literally SwitchUp, and because you guys have used the website, they've given us another 10% off for another month. It's a good place to buy your Nintendo Switch Online vouchers. You can then use that to save a bit more on these games. Make sure you use code SwitchUp. We've also started to put written reviews on the website, so if it's something you want to bookmark and you prefer to read, that is an option for you. Congrats to the person on the screen. You've won a £50 voucher this week. Ping us an email and we'll sort you out. There are some really nice games on sale, including a little hidden gem at the end, and then a game you should avoid because it stinks. What's on sale? Well, let's find out. I'm sure you already know, but it's an absolute Doom fest over the next couple of days. You've only got till March the 8th to pick up Doom 3. You can buy the bundle pack, the Doom Slayers collection, which includes loads of the games. Doom Eternal is still on sale over in the US region, but in both regions at the moment you can pick up the OG 2016 Doom for 75% off. It still holds up really well, and I think some people actually preferred it. Doom Eternal has the more aerial nature of some of the gameplay, and actually I preferred that one, and it has just seen a massive patch, which I am hoping to do a re-review style patch review for, which maybe some of you will find interesting. But the Doom 2016 is 21 gigs. You're looking at 4 to 12 player online or solo play on one console, and around 10 to 20 hours of gameplay, plus any online that you're thinking of doing. That sale goes on until March the 9th.
Now you know you're making your way up the YouTubing ladder when you are offered the chance to make a Raid Shadow Legends video, and it is indeed Raid that have kindly sponsored today's video. This is of course one of the best known mobile games of all time. It has a huge number of champions, over 600 now, and all of these champions come from unique factions and have their own history and lore. You can download Raid for yourself to your mobile phone or PC using the links in this video's description. Raid Shadow Legends is of course a turn-based RPG, and I'm going to be doing a top 5 in this segment, and what better area to focus on than the champions themselves. Starting with number 5, my top 5 champions are Roxanne. With his veil ability making it hard for enemies to hit him and a number of debuffs, he's the silent assassin of the team. In 4th is Brackus the Shifter. He's all about damage. Whenever his health drops below 40%, his attack then goes up by 40%, making him more dangerous the more he is hit. In 3rd, I would have to go for Robar. His ability to hit enemies harder when they are under some sort of status ailment such as sleep or stun is a great skill and links up nicely with having Roxanne in your team. In 2nd is Elder Skarg of the Barbarians, who specialises in chopping away at enemies that have a lot of buffs. He takes less damage from legendary champions and can hit with a number of debuff skills to really damage the opposition. And it's always nice to have a support character in your side, and Manaya is my number 1. Her default attack sees her heal your weakest champion, and she'll heal both them and herself on her 2nd skill. She is your classic white mage of old and is a great member of any team. I do like the variety in champions, and building a team capable of taking on the raid bosses or dungeons is definitely very satisfying. If you are new to it all, then now is a great time to get started, as I mentioned earlier, you can use the link in the description to this video or scan the QR code shown to get a free starter pack worth almost $30. This includes a free champion in Tyrell, 200k in silver, 1 energy refill, 1 XP boost and an ancient shard so that you can summon champions as soon as you begin, and all of this treasure will be waiting for you here. These rewards are available for the next 30 days only for new players.
We've just had the sequel to Far Lone Sales. I think Switch Corner did a review of it. It looks like a really lovely sequel. But the original was a really good game, and that's 80% off at the moment, taking it down to £2.69. If you've not played these or even heard of them, you travel around in this land ship, I guess you could call it. And you've got to upgrade it, you've got to maintain it as it goes along. And it's quite a narrative experience, albeit quite a short one as well. You're looking around about 3 or 4 hours for this. It's a 2.1 gigabyte download, but it does capture that escapism that I really enjoy. Now it's only on sale for about another day, so if you're interested in this one and it's later than that, then I'm sorry, it might not be on sale anymore, but this is the cheapest it's ever been. Then we've got the Steamworld games. Loads of these are on sale. You've got Steamworld Dig, Steamworld Dig 2, which are both brilliant Metroidvanias, and they're also on sale and you should own them, like they are must-buys. But then you've got the spin-offs. You had the Steamworld Heist, the Ultimate Edition, that's also 75% off. But I'm going to talk about Steamworld Quest, which Glen reviewed on the channel, and which took things in a very different direction. It was a deck builder, and yeah, I know we've got a lot of these types of games, but he really enjoyed this. It's worth checking out his full review. You have to lead a different party, and you'll be using those cards to facilitate your combat, and there's a surprising amount of RPG mechanics in here as well. He really enjoyed it. I know some people were quite upset because I think a lot of people just wanted Steamworld Dig 3. Like, that would be amazing, and hopefully that's in the works. But this deserves a look as well. Very good Metacritic score, and he enjoyed it and gave it a good score as well on the channel. It has a 1.1 gigabyte download and about 15 to 30 hours of gameplay. That sale goes on for a long time. You've got until March the 30th. Now, Spin Tire's Mudrunner was a game that I almost reviewed for a joke. Like, when it first came out, I knew nothing about the series. I didn't know how popular it was. And I thought, do you know what, let's just give this a bash. When one of the key selling points of a game is your ability to traverse mud, I wasn't expecting it to be quite as compelling as it is, but it's brilliant. The sequel, Spin Tire's SnowRunner, is a better game, and that is also on a sale, but it's a bit more expensive than this. I still say Mudrunner's worth picking up, as it's only £6.74, 70% off until March the 13th. And you've got 30 different vehicles, but there's loads of missions to do. You know, you might be trying to repair and help repair a place that's been flooded, and you can jump online as well and just drop into someone's world and join them and help them out. And while it might not sound fun, it's very fun. We've got a full review of this one and the sequel if that tickles your fancy a bit more. But you're looking at 3.1 gigs to download, and yeah, I mean, if you can afford to go up to the sequel, which is £25 at the moment at 30% off, then that is the better game, but both really good. Next up then, and another one we've got a review of on the channel, is Greak Memories of Azure. This is 50% off, taking it down to £7.99. It's a really nice action adventure title where you can split between two characters, and you will need to change between them to do certain parts of the game. Now, realistically, they really should have put a co-op mode in. There should have been a two-player co-op mode so you both can control them, because it can get a bit clunky moving between them, but it's still very enjoyable. It has a lovely soundtrack, and I think this art style is just as good as it gets for me personally. But if you're after a bit of escapism, one of those adventure titles, things like Ori and the Blind Forest, those games that have that fantastical quality, then this might appeal to you. Just beware that switching mechanic can feel a little bit iffy at times. That one's £7.99, that's 50% off, 1.5 gigs to download, and about 8 to 12 hours to finish. Then we've got Vampyr. This is an excellent game. I reviewed this one way back when. It comes from Focus Home Interactive and is developed by Don't Nod and Saber Interactive. As the title suggests, you play as a vampire. Well, a new vampire, but a vampire nonetheless. But every single character in the world here is simulated in that your relationship with them is recorded and logged, and you can change that, you can influence it through your actions, and at certain points you might even have the option of turning them, but I don't want to spoil key details. But yeah, it's a very good game, very in-depth, very deep, and that kind of Victorian London. It's really presented well here. Now, this one has combat in it as well, which isn't as strong. The combat, it's okay, like it's fine, but it's not its best aspect. I think that comes from the narrative and just the general way, the persistence, I guess, of the world and those characters. It's got a 7.3 gigabyte download, and you're looking at about 20 to 40 hours, so quite a chunky little adventure. That one's on sale until March the 13th, and I believe there's a physical of this one as well that's usually on sale, so have a little look if you're a physical collector. Ghostrunner is currently 60% off, or you can buy, there's a few DLC packs that are also reduced, but the core game saw a number of patches. We absolutely tore it apart, like we tore it to pieces when it launched. It was just such a mess, and it was so annoying. It was embarrassing, honestly. And they went back and they patched it, and then we kind of tore that apart, and then they went back and patched it, and we tore that a little bit less, and eventually something turned up that was very decent. Like, it looks much better, it plays much better, and hats off to the developers, because it's now worth me recommending, and if they hadn't have done so, it definitely wouldn't be in this video. This is currently 60% off. It's almost like a parkour game, like you can dodge bullets. I guess if John Wick was a ninja, then Ghostrunner would be potentially the film that you'd get, but with more floppy hair and a cute dog. RIP. It's really tricky. It's almost like think Super Meat Boy in terms of the design. So you'll do something, die, have to go back, do it again, and gradually improve your skills. Once you get into it and you start dodging those bullets, and also you can hit them back with your katana, plus it's got an amazing soundtrack. It's a really nice game, this, well worth picking up. It's 8.8 gigs, so quite big, and about 7 to 12 hours if you want to finish and do everything. The penultimate game then, not one I think I've ever spoken about, which is always nice. Before we look at the hidden gem, which is one I've definitely not mentioned in one of these videos, we've got Narita Boy. This is 60% off, and I know there's some good reviews of this one out there. Unfortunately, when it dropped, we got to play it, but we never got to review it. It was just a busy period, and it's another one that's from Team 17 as the publisher, but it was developed by Studio Koba. It's a pixel action adventure game, but that description does it no justice. It does something that I think only a few games managed to do. It takes something that's been done before, pixel art, side-scrolling, being able to travel in any direction, and it elevates it beyond a lot of its contemporaries. Every different area is almost like a different contrasting color. The soundtrack is just amazing, and it's a fully told story experience. This isn't a roguelite, nothing like that. This is a full-on, I'm trying to think of the game, Hyperlight Drifter, something that is just so well done. This is in the same kind of vein as that in terms of the quality with which it's delivered. Now, it's 60% off, as I say, £8 until March the 23rd, so you've got quite a while, and it's only 925 megs to download. Another game that's about 7 to 10 hours to finish, but well worth it. I've actually had to record another one because I totally forgot about Guilty Gear Double Cross, which I wanted to talk about. It's actually Guilty Gear Double Cross Accent Core Plus R because, you know, long names. It's got offline 1 or 2 player. It's a fighting game, obviously, but it's got online 2 to 6. It's really good. It's very nice indeed. There's a story mode here. There's some ridiculously difficult gameplay if you set it hard enough. And there are tons of other modes. There's 13 in total. But yeah, they're very good fighting games. And I don't normally talk about fighting games, and they're just ludicrously cheap. At the moment, £1.94, which is by far the cheapest they've ever been. 85% off, 4.2 gigabytes. And if you like fighting games, you can also get just plain Guilty Gear for £1.19. Absolute bargain. They're on sale until March the 13th. Then we've got our hidden gem of the week. Now, I know I haven't had a kids pick this week. I mean, I can't just make it up. She's absolutely hooked on Monster Hunter Rise, so that is her pick. It's not on sale, so so there you go. But I'm going to mention Super Daryl Deluxe. Now, this was reviewed by me a long time ago, but it's so underrated. Such a funny Metroidvania adventure RPG hybrid. It calls itself an RPG-vania, but it is absolutely brilliant. It's bizarre, it's borderline insane at times, but some of the skills that you get and the abilities and the turn-based combat, it's just hilarious. Really, really good game. Def makes a cameo appearance, which is always nice, very Monty Python, and comes from a very small indie development team. If you're after something completely different, that's also a solid experience, you're looking at about 20 to 40 hours of gameplay, then consider this one. It's a 5.7 gigabyte download, and that sale, it goes on until March the 10th, so you haven't got a great deal of time, but for £4.49, that is an absolute bargain. Check out our full review, although it is one of my oldest reviews, so it's a bit cringy for me, but you know, hopefully it still gives you some information. All the links to other reviews in this episode will be down in the description and the top pinned comment. So that's it. You just need one game to avoid, and boy, have I seen the one you need to avoid. It's one that I've mentioned a few times before, but the price it's on at the moment, and just look at the trailer in the background right now. There's going to be a lot of people thinking, ooh, hang on. No, I'm not going to spend that £2 on a 99 with a flake. I'm going to save it, and I'm going to buy Beast Quest because this looks awesome. Well, if you've not been around the channel, then I can't blame you for thinking that, but it's absolute garbage. Honestly, it's as if they got a toddler to write what would make a fun game. And to be honest, I think a toddler would have a better idea. Honestly, toddlers know how to have a good time, but not the developers of Beast Quest, obviously. Sorry, Taurus Games, it's trash. The quest lines are just fetch. They're not, and fetch quests happen. I get it. I've played a JRPG, I've played lots of them. But here it will be like, go and collect 6 acorns, go and collect 7 acorns, go and collect 8 acorns. You go back and you're like looking at them like, if you say acorns, and then you know what they say, and I know what I say, don't play Beast Quest. So that's it for this week. Thank you very much. Save yourself 10% not on Beast Quest using our code SwitchUp over at switchup.gg. I hope you've had a lovely weekend. I hope that your week coming up is okay. If you are in any of these places that are in difficult situations at the moment, all the best from us. Do hit us up in the comments, and we do try and take as much time as we can to reply to as many people as we can, because to be honest, the channel wouldn't exist without you lot. So thank you very much. Thanks to our patrons. You guys are incredible. There are some new ones. Your names will be on this video, and if they aren't, I've failed miserably. And once again, it was a delight to hear Glen Bolger, his dulcet tones, doing the wonderful Raid Shadow Legends advert. Thank you, Glen. I shall use the money we've made there to pay people not to buy Beast Quest. For all things Switch, all the time, keep it Switch up. Cheers, guys. See ya!